little bit introduction for our research is cancer culture and online shaming are growing issue in the digital era. Social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook allow public criticism to spread rapidly. According to Tavares 2025, online public shaming expose individuals publicly for offensive behavior. And then it is also a viral incident attract mass criticism for online user. So for the effect of cancel culture there is two effect, which is a positive and negative. For positive, which is accountability, justice, social awareness, and for the negative is cyberbullying, harassment, emotional harm. According to Laili et al. 2024, cancel culture can move toward and also social control. Cyberbullying public reaction are influenced by culture, religion, morality, and social norms. So for comparison, Western society, freedom of speech, activism, individual and accountability as a society. So it is also collective values, social harmony, and community norms. It is aimed to the study to compare society perception toward online bullying and cancel culture in Asia and the West. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Nazira Izati binti Nasri with matrix number 84816. In this section of our interactive presentation, I will provide concise summaries of the two academic articles chosen for our assignment. The summaries highlight the main arguments and findings which will later form the basis of our comparative analysis. The first article, titled Navigating Cancel Culture in Indonesia, Understanding Cyberbullying and Social Control in Viral Cases, from September until November 2023, which this article written by Alvin Nurlaili, Puja Suharso, and Sukidin in 2024. The main argument for this article is the rise of cancel culture in Indonesia and argues that it functions in two distinct directions. First, as a form of social control, enforcing accountability and communal norms. Second, as a form of cyberbullying, which often leads to hostility, misinformation, and psychological harm. To illustrate this duality, the authors analyzed 5 viral cases involving public figures, religious sensitivities, and incidents of violence such as bullying and abuse. For the methodology, the study used ethnography, interviews with 10 informants, and sentiments analysis through the naive-based model. This combination allowed the researcher to capture both qualitative and quantitative insights social media, platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, YouTube, WhatsApp, and so on. For the main findings, revealed that out of 10 sentiments outcome, 7 lean towards cyberbullying, where only 3 reflect to social control. This shows that cancel culture in Indonesia often escalates into aggressive online behavior rather than constructive accountability. Public outrage was strongest in cases involving high-ranking officials, violence of religious norms, or severe harm such as murder and theft. These reactions were amplified by clickbait, dramatization, and fear of missing out. The authors conclude that cancel culture in Indonesia is paradoxical. One of the positive sides, it can accelerate accountability and social change. As seen in the Maria Dani abuse case, where public pressure has then legal action. On the negative side, it fosters division, restricts freedom of expression, and imposes mental health burdens. Overall, the article situates cancel culture as a both corrective and destructive force, reflecting the complexities of social interaction in the Indonesia digital age. Next, for the second article entitled Online Public Shaming, an empirical analysis of contemporary online shaming punishment, written by Ines Ferreira de Esteves in 2025. The article focused on the issue of online public shaming, which is commonly known as cancel culture. The author studies how social media users collectively shame and punish individuals who are considered to have violated social or moral norms online. The article uses the famous case of Justin Sacco as the main example. In 2013, Sacco posted a controversial racist tweet before boarding a flight to South Africa. While she was offline during the flight, the tweet became viral worldwide. Thousands of Twitter users criticized and humiliated her publicly, and she eventually lost her job after landing. The main argument of this article is that online public shaming works like a modern form of punishment. According to the author, social media users do not only criticize the person's action, but they also label the person as morally bad, racist, or unacceptable in society. To support this argument, the research analyzed more than 51,000 Twitter posts using the hashtag "Has Justin Landed Yet?" The findings shows that users actively spread screenshots of Sacco's tweets, mock her online, and celebrate the consequences she faced. Another important finding is that social media creates permanent shame because digital content can continue spreading even after it is deleted. The article also explained that online public shaming creates a simple moral division between good or bad, where users position themselves as morally correct while excluding the targeted individual. In conclusion, the article argues that online public shaming has become a powerful form of social control in digital society because it publicly humiliates individuals, threatens their reputation, career, and social relationship. That's all from me.
Here, we can see the similarities of cancel culture in Asia and the West. Both rely heavily on social media as the main platform. In Indonesia, scandals like Oakland Fierce TikTok videos spread rapidly and dominate online discussions. In the West, controversies such as J.K. Rowling's Twitter post also went viral and sparked global debates. So, the similarity is clear. Social media acts as the catalyst for cancel culture in both regions. To support this analysis, we can look at real-world cases. In Asia, Oakland Fierce TikTok video went viral and triggered massive criticism. In the West, J.K. Rowling's Twitter post also went viral and sparked boycotts. This example proves that social media is the driving force behind cancel culture in both regions.
Next, I will discuss the difference between cancel culture in Asia and the West. In Asia, especially in Indonesia, cancel culture is strongly influenced by religion, morality, and collective value. Most cases that become viral usually involve sensitive issues such as religion, public decency, and social norms. Because Asian society are more collective, people tend to prioritize social harmony and community value. As a result, public reaction on social media are often emotionally and may turn into cyberbullying or hate speech. On the other hand, cancel culture in the West focuses more on racism, equality, freedom of expression, and individual accountability. For example, in Justin Sacco's case, the public outrage was mainly related to racist and offensive speech. In Western societies, cancel culture is often seen as a form of social punishment to hold individuals accountable to their action. Discussion usually focus on ethics, justice, and moral responsibility rather than religious sensitivity. Overall, although both Asian and the West use social media to criticize wrongdoing, the main difference is the Asian cancel culture is more influenced by collective moral and religion, while Western cancel culture is more connected to social justice and individual responsibility. One example of cancel culture in Asia is the Kim Garam controversy in South Asia. Kim Garam, a former member of the K-pop group The Seraphim, faced massive backlash on social media after accusation of school bullying surfaced online before her debut. The issue quickly became viral on platforms such as Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Korean online forum. Many netizens critique her harshly, spread negative comment, and demand that she be removed from the group due to the intense public pressure and online critique. Kim Garam eventually left the Seraphim. This case reflects how cancel culture in Asian society is strongly connected to reputation for public morality and collective social value. Korean netizens view bullying as unacceptable behavior that could damage the group image and social harmony. Social media use play a major role, spread the controversy, and influence public opinion. The case also shows how online community in Asia can quick turn criticism into public shaming and cyberbullying.
Now, move to key question. Key question number 1, which is cancel culture as social control versus cyberbullying. So, cancel culture can function as both social control and cyberbullying. Lately, ETO 2024 found that in Indonesia, only 3 out of 10 viral cases represented genuine social control. The rest escalated into harassment and hate speech. Similarly, Tavares' analysis of the Justin Sacco case in the West shows how a single tweet led to mass public humiliation, functioning more as mob punishment than accountability. So, the said tool can either correct or harm society depending on how it used. Second question is collectivism versus individualism in cancel culture. Culture values heavily shape how cancel culture works. So, in Indonesia, collectivist values mean cancel culture is triggered by violation of religion or community norms, with emotional and fast-spreading reaction fueled by dramatization, sensationalism, and FOMO. In the West context, individualistic value mean it focuses more on personal accountability, particularly around racism and social justice. Anthropologically, the maps onto the distinction between shame culture in Asia and guilt culture in the West. The third question is online public shaming legitimate punishment? So, online public shaming has roots in legitimate social norm enforcement, but it is current from it often goes too far. Tavares notes that digital shaming is instant and permanent. Sacco lost her career before she could even respond. He introduced the concept of digital immorality, where archive posts ensure a transgression is never forgotten. So, Liley et al. Found similar effect, which is mental health impact, including anxiety and depression, material losses, and the spread of misinformation. So without fairness or the possibility of redemption, it stopped being justice and become punishment without due processes. So question number 4 is it mob justice versus accountability versus waste. So in both contexts, cancel culture has largely shifted toward mob justice rather than genuine accountability. So in Indonesia, 7 out of 10 cases involve coordinated harassment driven by FOMO, often before the facts were fully established. In the West, the Sasko case saw user treating public shaming and it as entertainment, so positioning themselves as morally superior while dehumanizing her as a person. So the difference is in motivation, religious indignation in Asia, social justice framing in the West, but both result in disproportionate punishment with no due process. Last question is a shameful versus a good culture, Indonesia versus USA. So the shame guilt framework explains why cancel culture looks so different in Indonesia and the US. So in Indonesia, Indonesia is a shame-based culture. Behavior is regulated by fear of public disgrace and community judgment. So cancel culture is therefore emotionally intense, community-driven, and involve communal exclusion. Besides, the US is more of a goal-based culture, where individuals are held to personal moral standards. This makes Western cancel culture more focused on ethical argumentation and professional or economic consequences. So cancel culture is never universal. It always reflects the cultural values, social structure, and historical context of society it comes from. Thank you. So, for conclusion, cancel culture has become a major form of modern cyber deviance. Social media spreads information and public outrage rapidly. Online shaming has become more powerful and widespread. And according to Tavares 2025, online public shaming exposes individuals publicly. Victims may experience humiliation, social exclusion, and reputational damage, loss of employment. According to Liley et 2024, cancel culture in Indonesia often shifts toward cyberbullying, emotional reaction, and misinformation intensity, online harassment, viral discussion, increased public condemnation. So for comparison between Asia and the West, it is Western society emphasize freedom and expression and accountability. Asian society emphasize collective harmony, which is like morality and community value. Overall, the cancel culture can create awareness and accountability. However, empathy, digital literacy, and respectful communication are important to prevent harmful cyberbullying. Thank you.